Hello. So, have you been putting yourself out there, meeting people, going to events, going to pottery classes and salsa classes and community park meetups and meeting great people, but not really connecting or making any real friends? That's very common. And that is some of the most inefficient how to make friends advice out there, where they say, um, just put yourself out there, go out, meet people. And yes, in order to make friends, you definitely need to do that. But going into these events cold, without really much of a plan, is probably one of the most inefficient ways to really start building a friend network quickly, especially if you're not a person who's really comfortable just talking to a stranger. Like, there are people that are like that, but a lot of people just aren't. So, if that's you, you're going to want to listen closely to this video. Um, you're going to really want to listen to this video because I'm going to talk about an element of my network social system called the social node. And this is game changing. It can really transform your social life and get you a friend network really, really quickly. So, first, I'm going to go into why standard how to make friends advice is pretty inefficient and honestly a little disheartening for some people, especially if you're not someone, again, who's fairly extroverted, who likes talking to strangers, who can talk to people and not feel any sort of way if it doesn't come to anything or you get rejected for friendship. So, in standard how to make friends advice, they tell you to go out, talk to people, meet this person, meet that person, and see if a friendship blossoms out of it. So imagine, and maybe you don't even need to imagine it. This has been your situation. You go to a pottery class, you go out, you make pottery, you talk to some people, and some people are really nice. You meet person A and they're really great, but you're not really clicking as friends necessarily, and you don't really know how to take that interaction and turn it into a friendship. So you go to this event and you have a good time, sure, but no friends got out of it. Okay. Next day, you go to a dog meetup at the park. You have a dog, for example. You meet the other owners, they're super nice, super cute. But again, you're not really meeting anyone that really clicks as a friend. And so you go away from that event too, enjoying the event, but not coming away with any friends. So now maybe you feel a little disheartened, like, oh, I've gone out twice. I haven't really met anyone that I'm really clicking with as a friend. Do people not like me? Am I like not right for the city? Whatever it might be. Third time you go out for like a hiking party. Again, no luck. And then finally you go to some like book signing event and you meet someone else there, a girl who's like very similar to you, and you like really hit it off and you become friends. It's like so exciting. And that's awesome. But it took 4 separate events for you to find one person that could potentially blossom into a friendship. And before you even get to that point, a lot of people get, like, again, really discouraged, really start second guessing themselves. Some people can get really affected by feeling like just people don't like them, and they start like all these things in their head. That's standard how to make friends advice. And honestly, it's pretty inefficient. And if you don't have that momentum power, you can quit, before you really even make any progress. The faster way to start meeting people that you would really click with without a lot of the awkwardness of just like walking up to a stranger, if you're not someone like that, is to find what I call the social node. Now, what is a social node? A social node is a person with a lot of friends. Social nodes are the kind of people who have a lot of friends, who know a lot of people, and who love connecting people to each other. They tend to be extroverts, but not always. Uh, Actually, many great ones are actually quite introverted, but um, they know a lot of people. They have a lot of friends. They've curated this amazing community, and they kind of see themselves as the sort of person who um, connects people together. Like, actually, part of their personality and psychology is like, I'm a connector. I'm someone that other people look to match people up together. And there are actually a lot of people like this. And so, much more efficient for you would be if you were to find one or two of these social nodes, and I'm going to tell you how you can find them very quickly in a second. Find one or two of these different social nodes, and then um, match and sort of become their friend, or even just talk to them really and become an acquaintance, and ask them like, hey, I'm new to this city, or I'm new to this community, or I've lived here for a while but I've been really like tied up with work and different stuff. I'm just getting to know the people around here. um, is there anyone that you think I would be a good would be good for me to know? A social node takes that and they almost immediately turn it into their job. Like, you saying that kind of unlocks something in their brain of like, okay, like, who can this girl or this person really jive well with? Like, what of my friends are similar enough to this person that they would connect really well? This solves a lot of problems. So, one, in the first sort of way of making friends, you're just going out to these random places and talking to random people and hoping something happens. When you're talking with a social node, because they know tons of people and you've shared a little bit about yourself, they're almost um, like a computer sorting system or even like a matchmaker. They're like, okay, so this girl says she loves hiking, she loves books, she likes matcha, whatever. What of my hundreds of friends fit this description and I think would fall in well with, okay, Abby, Michelle, Amanda, whatever. And they'll be like, oh, yeah, these people would be great for you to make a connection. Let me make the connection for you. So, one, instead of going to a bunch of random places and potentially finding people that fit or don't fit, you're going to a well of social information effectively, and they're doing all the matching for you. And it won't be perfect 100% of the time, but like 80% of the time, it will work out for you versus the like 5% of the time that it might work for you in the first way. So it solves that problem. Second problem that it solves is that, if you're not someone comfortable to talking to a lot of strangers, when you connect with a social node, they will give you a warm introduction to their network. So it's no longer this like, okay, I'm this random girl walking up to this random group of people. It's like, oh, I am Amanda's acquaintance, associate. Everyone knows Amanda. Everyone loves Amanda. Amanda is like very trusted and I'm being introduced to various people in her community. So it's a warm introduction. People don't feel awkward. The people that you're meeting don't feel awkward about it. It's like, oh, a friend meeting another friend. And because Amanda says, hey, I think you guys would really, kick it off, this other person is kind of incentivized to like really try to see, like, oh, would we work out? Like maybe we can hang out again, et cetera, et cetera. This is amazing. Um, but before I go on, I probably should say a little bit about myself. So this is Life Curated. We talk about a lot of stuff, but one of the main things I'm really passionate about is helping, especially women, make friends. I think, you know, um, making friends is not as difficult or complicated as I think sometimes it can be made out to be in our minds. And me personally, I grew up moving around a ton. Like every year, we moved around, we changed schools, and so I really had to learn how to make friends quickly. And because of that experience, it really wasn't until like my early to mid 20s that I lived in one place long enough to really start building a social network. And so I kind of had to learn how to make friends, keep friends, be a good friend, build a community, be a community leader from scratch. And so uh, there's a lot of different things that I've learned along in this journey. I started off as this young kid with very few friends just because of all the moving to today, where at this point, I don't even really have to reach out or organize my own social events. I get so many invites incoming all the time that my social life is almost on autopilot. And I have this amazing community, amazing cohort of friends. I do host events now and again personally, and I can always find a great crowd to come out. Always have people to lean on and depend on, which is just such um, just a real like blessing in my life, and I want to help other people feel the same. So that's a little bit about me. So where were we? Yes. So you want to find these social nodes. Um, and then the question becomes, how do you find them? Well, there are a couple ways, and I've created a 30-day how to make friends challenge. Well, a 30-day challenge that I'm calling the network social system. It's built on a very well-defined system of how to make friends and build a social network really, really quickly. Like you can literally go from zero to a full social calendar literally in 30 days. That's the goal of the course. And this is what I used when I moved to a major city almost 7 years ago, knowing literally one other person and building a very robust social life very quickly. And it will work. And it's using some of the stuff that I'll talk about on this channel. Um, so how do you find so the network social system, you can find that in the description box. The course officially launches April 15th, but until April 15th, there is a discount code for 33% off called Fast Friends. It's down in the description as well. So you can click on that and be part of the inaugural cohort where I'm sharing all this information in a very detailed, structured way. So, how do you find these social nodes? There are many ways that you can find them. The easiest way, and this is a secret, go to events and find the event host. Who is the individual person who is organizing this event? By definition, people who host events are social nodes. They're the kind of people who either know a ton of people to show up at these events or have a certain level of reach, certain level of community leadership that they can throw something and lots of people show up. So these are the people that are the easiest to find and like would be great early starts in your social flywheel. So how would you go about doing this? What I would do is I would go on websites like Partyful or Luma or meetup.com, and they have all these, or Pi is another one. And Pi, actually, all of their events are free. Um, and then you would look at all these different platforms, look at events that are interesting to you. Like, don't go to like big general events, like that's not actually very tied to what you would like and people that would really drive with you. Try to really think about, okay, what are the sort of things that I like? Are you someone who likes books over sports? Are you someone who likes fashion or nature? Pick whatever, you know, thing that is really your thing. Go on some of these websites that I've mentioned, Partyful, Luma, Pi, meetup.com. Sign up for these events and then look on the little uh, like buy section. They'll list like an actual name with an actual picture, usually a picture of an actual person who's leading the event. Sometimes you can reach out to this person before the event even happens. Sometimes just like if the platform has a messaging system or an email, just send them an email and say like, "Hey, I'm super excited for this event. I'm new to the city. I'm new to this community. Blah blah blah. I'm trying to meet people. Would love to meet you at this event." You can do that before the event actually happens, or you don't even really have to do that. Just go to the event and then talk to whoever is at the door that's managing either sign in or is like telling people, hey, put codes here, whatever, whatever. Sometimes that's the host, oftentimes that's just like one of their friends. And you just go up to them and say, hey, super excited to be here, blah, blah, blah. Who's putting on this event? I'd love to say hi. They'll tell you right away, oh, okay, yeah, it's a Lydia, and she's like back there, the girl in the striped t-shirt. You're like, great, thank you. Go to Lydia. Hey, Lydia, super excited for this event. This is my background. This is, why I'm really interested in this sort of thing. And I'm new to the city, or I'm new to this community, or I've lived here for a long time, but because of work or family, whatever it is, I haven't really been able to dive deep in, local people who like similar things. Is there anyone here that you would recommend I talk to? That's it. That's literally it. Because, Lydia, is the event host. It's her job, whether explicitly or even just internally in her own mind, and trust me, like, all hosts feel this, like, I host events, like, I feel this. Um, their job in their mind is that, you know, the event goes off without a hitch, but that people have fun, that people have a good time. That's what they're trying to do. And so Lydia is like, "Oh, okay, like, this girl is new, she's, like, interested in what we're trying to do," which is so exciting. Hosts are really grateful when people show up at their events, and now in Lydia's mind, she's like, "Okay, for this person to have fun, she needs to talk to people, like, meet people that would resonate with her." Because she's the host, she probably knows, like, half the people in the room already. They're probably her own friends or people who've come to her events in the past, etcetera, etcetera. And so then she'll be like, "Oh, yeah, this person or these people would be, I think, good for you to talk to." So now, before you throw that piece out there, talk with the host a little bit. Become friends with the host herself, because, if she's throwing an event in an arena you're interested in, then, like, you already know that you guys have something in common, so you'll actually probably become friends. Hosts are very sociable people, so they're just great people to know in general, I think. Um, and what's good, and I'll go back to this in a second, as you work the room via the people that Lydia will introduce you to, if there's ever a point where you feel awkward or you don't know how to continue a conversation, you can always just go back to the host, because you already built a rapport with them. They feel a sense of responsibility for you to have fun, and they are, they're already kind of an associate of yours at this point. So you say, "Hey, okay," like, you and Lydia talk a little bit, and then you say, "Hey, who else do you think I should meet at this event?" Lydia's like, "Oh, meet this person." And so she will take you to whoever that person is. And if she just sort of points, you can ask her, like, "Oh, are you sure it's this person?" Slash, "Oh, can you introduce me to that person?" Um, Totally fine asking. It's like, it's not weird at all. They totally expect it. So Lydia will introduce you to this friend that she meets, or maybe this small group of people. And then you guys talk, and then again you mention, like, "Hey, I'm new to this community, or I'm new to the city, or I'm, new to engaging with this city that I've lived in for a while." You ask everyone their name, they'll ask you yours, you ask them what brought them to this event. You ask them, how do you know the host? How do you know Lydia? So these are all, like, very basic conversation questions. And you guys talk and you talk. And as you talk, you realize, like, "Oh, we are a great connection point. We could potentially become friends." And then you can say something like, "Oh, I would love to come to more of these things, would love to be informed as they happen. Let's exchange contact information as we find more of these sort of events in the city." 9 times out of 10, people say yes, because one, uh, they have a warm introduction to you because of Lydia, their friend. Two, you two are probably fairly similar, if, there's some sort of connection point between the event and Lydia thinking, "Oh, that you guys would make sense," and you've just had a pleasant conversation. That's it. And what's so great about this is now you have these friends, you've made friends with Lydia. At the end of the night, make sure you go back and say, "Hey, Lydia, I had so much fun. I spoke to these people that you introduced me to, blah, 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 blah. I'd love to stay in touch." You guys will exchange communications information. From the host perspective, at least they want to keep in touch with you, to keep inviting you to other events. And, make sure you say at the end, like, "Hey, I'd love to be invited back to other things." Um, so now you've met those people that Lydia's introduced you to, and you've met, Lydia, and you have her information. And I'll go back to this really quickly. If during the event you have a moment with those people that you meet and it's great, and you get their number, and you continue to meet, and you want to, like, circulate on, you can move on and just, talk to a stranger, or you can ask those people, um, is there anyone else here that you know that you would recommend that I um, meet and interact with? So you can ask the people that that the host that the node introduced you to introduce you to more people in the room. Or if you feel awkward, you can go back to Lydia, because again, you've already built a rapport with her, and she feels kind of obligated to make sure that you have a good time because she's the host. And you can ask her, "Hey, is there anyone else that you think I should meet, and then she'll point you to the next person, and this whole cycle repeats again and again. I would only ask the host to introduce you to new groups twice in one event, but then you would also ask each of these new groups, who else do you think I should meet? And so then by the end of the night, um, because usually the host will introduce you to a small group. It's usually not just one person, it's like maybe two or three small groups that like came together. By the end of the night, you've met maybe 3 to like 10 people who are fairly similar to you, and you can walk out of that with maybe 3 or 4 numbers of potential people to hang out with another time, one of them being the event host, herself. So that is the secret to social nodes, finding people who know a ton of people. And they're just really great to know because even at the end of the event, you can reach out to Lydia again and say, "Hey, I had so much fun. Would love to come to your next one." She'll invite you to more events. And because you've already told her in the part, like, "Oh, I'm the first event, like, oh, I'm trying to meet people, etc." When you walk in, she'll just start introducing you to people automatically. That will happen. You can hang out with all these people again after the event. Um, the social node, someone like Lydia, as she meets new people, she will have you in mind to connect you with new people that she meets in like other parts of the world. And so that's how invites start coming to you. Once you know people who know a lot of people, they kind of start doing the work for you and send people your way. And that's one of the main points of how connections happen and social flywheels start getting built. So I hope that was helpful. I am going to continue to do these lives on Mondays and Thursdays as of now. And please come in with any questions that you have. I would love to do like Q&A live for people. So if you're working on how to build a friend network, how to build a social network, how to just meet people in general, whether it's you've moved to a new city or maybe you've always kind of struggled with making friends. I'm here about all things social friendships, relationship type things, particularly for women and girls. So if there aren't any questions, I think that will be the end tonight. Again, look in the description box if you're interested in my 30-day network social system challenge. I take you literally from zero to a full functioning, happening social community network where you're getting so many invites in that you rarely have to start pushing out. I know that sounds crazy and like such a crazy thing to claim, but trust me, it literally does work. Um, it really uses uh, the real social media, the real social network of introducing people to other people. So, thank you.